How's the heel feeling?
I was getting better every day. Um, yeah, I mean, it's getting better every day. I'm running around now. Um, so, it's just a typical injury that you have to work through.
Could you have played last week if you had to?
Yeah.
Or you've been through the playoff thing before. How do you think the game changes? How does maybe your preparation change? The actual game planning change for
You just want to figure out a way to try to do a little bit more. Um, it's more intent behind what you're willing to sacrifice for your teammates to get to where you want to go. As far as what changes, from my experience, it seems like everything is just a little bit more heightened. Obviously the stakes are, but when you're out there on the field, it seems like teams are. It seems like teams, the game plan is just on point. Because I look at it like, well, it feels like, you don't have any room for error. Like Coach was talking about earlier in the week. It's like, throughout the course of the season, um, you make a mistake, you drop a ball, something happens. You got more plays. You know what I mean? But you know, this is win or go home, so it's like the margin for error is much smaller.
you? So with what you did to them the last time on Christmas Eve, how different do you think their game plan is going to be to try to slow you down?
I don't know. I mean, I can't predict that. Um, I guess I'll just have to wait and see.
Stingley did not shadow you, correct? The last time?
Nah.
Have you had an opportunity to really sort of savor or process how cool it was to be able to go out there and set that Browns record, that is held up for so long, and to be the number one receiver in receiving yards? Have you been able to wrap your brain around that at all yet?
Yeah, I mean, records are meant to be broken. At the end of the day, it's just numbers. I don't take it for granted, but I mean, it's the past. I always tell myself, I want to look back on my career in that nostalgic type of way that I think you're alluding to after I'm done playing.
Coop, has it been your experience when you've had a big game against a team that the next time you see them, you get even more attention than normal?
Depends. It's all situational. I mean, Houston, they're not really a man team, so I don't. I think the chances of them, using a player to shadow me is, a little bit less than what it would be if they were a man team. But you never know. For the playoffs, like I said before, teams game plan and they're willing to do whatever they have to do to win. Um, so like I said, we'll just see. But from past experiences, yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're dominating the team generally in those division games, that's when it happens. Like if you're dominating in your division, you see those teams, a lot throughout the course of the year. Of course, they're going to make changes.
When a team isn't, like you said, they don't play a ton of man. Is it tough for them then to get to the playoffs and switch that up? For you know what I mean? Like, you kind of just got to be true to yourself as a defense, as opposed to trying to change a bunch of stuff. Same would be for the offense too.
Again,
Yeah.
it depends. It's situational. Like if you look at a team like the Patriots, they're one of those teams that, you know, they kind of change their game plan week to week depending on what they're getting from the opposing offense. But generally teams are pretty much who they are in terms of like what they do scheme wise. But like I said before, teams will kind of slightly change things up in the playoffs, so you never really know what to expect.
It seems like it was almost like 7-on-7 that you couldn't rush the passer. Do you feel like if the team can't rush Flacco, no one's going to be able to cover you anyway?
I mean, that's that's idealistic. I mean, if he's not getting pressure, that means I have more time to get open. So, yeah, I do feel that way.
Amari, how much do you think Joe's playoff experience is going to help this team Saturday and beyond?
Um, I don't know. I can't really answer that question. I think he, alluded to the fact earlier in the week that this was his, probably his 16th playoff game. He wasn't quite sure, but around that number. So I mean, experience is the best teacher. So, with that said, I think it's going to help a lot. But nothing really matters. Like you have to live in the moment, have to be where your feet are. The past, the future. It's all about the present. So it's any given Sunday in this league, so I can't really say. But obviously, hopefully.
What do you like about this team? What's sort of special about, the environment, the culture, the feeling in here?
I like the camaraderie. I like that guys can, generally usually get the best friendships when it comes to the position groups. So like the receivers stick together, corners stick together, so forth and so on. But I think on the best teams, at least for the teams that I've been a part of, everybody was able to come together and become friends even after the season. So I see a lot of that in this team. Guys like to go out, guys like to play Madden and stuff together after practice. So I would say the camaraderie for sure.
Kevin Stefanski's preached they want to know this week. That's where the focus and the attention is. He's preached that since the start of training camp. Now that you're in this in the tournament in the one-game season, how much do you think that mentality and how it's permeated throughout the locker room helps you guys as you go into this weekend?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of ingrained in us. Like repetition is the mother of all learning. He keeps saying it, keeps reiterating it, so it's kind of ingrained in us. And like I said before, the stakes are even heightened now because if we don't go 1-0 this week and the season is over, it wasn't like that during the season. So we definitely understand for sure.
Hey, Amari, back to Mary Kay's question about culture. I've seen you in different places in this locker room connecting with different guys in different groups. Is this as connected as you felt with the team?
I know I've been on some good teams that guys were connected. I can't say that this is definitely 100% the most connected, but it's up there. You know what I mean? Like I said before, you're on a good team, a winning team, a team that's above 500, a playoff team. It's gonna feel a similar way every time. Like it's gonna just feel like guys are close. Guys are really working together towards a common goal. So yeah, I would definitely say it's up there for sure.
Did you get up and say anything during that team meeting Monday when guys were talking about their playoff experience?
I know the guys who got up, it was about a Super Bowl experience. So unfortunately.
Do you have? I know you haven't been home, but do you have a favorite playoff moment from your times going through the season?
A favorite playoff moment that I've been a part of?
Yeah.
I would say just winning versus Seattle in 2019. Yeah, the 2018-2019 season. 'Cause I think I only won one playoff game. I've been like 3 or 4 times, but I only won one playoff game.
Championship game.
Amari, you've been in these games like you just said. What do you think is the biggest key in this game for you guys?
Preparation, 100% the biggest key. Like Coach CEO alluded to earlier in the week, more playoff games are lost than won, and the reason that they're lost is because guys aren't as prepared as they should be. The errors, the mistakes, they cost you. So you gotta be prepared.
So speaking of that, you guys have turned the ball over more than any team in the NFL.
Mhm.
They've turned the ball over the least. It's the first time in NFL history that's happened in a playoff game. Is turnovers part of that? You guys have overcome that all year, or are you guys just a team that can overcome turnovers?
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest stat in football. Turnover differential. The thing about it is that we have a clear goal, though. We know that stat just like it like the back of our hand. We've turned the ball over. They haven't turned the ball over much. So, going into it, that's why we're preparing. That's why we work on our drills and practice because we need to fix that.
Some more.
Thank you, Mark.
Denzel, you guys didn't face CJ last time,
Mhm.
Ohio State guy.
Yeah.
What challenge does he present? What's the biggest key to slowing him down?
Real big challenge. Like this is a new quarterback for their team. Like you said, he's a Buckeye, so all the Buckeyes are great. So no, he's a great quarterback though. Very accurate passer. Puts the ball on the money. Can make all the throws on the field. Gets the ball to his playmakers. Goes through his progression. So he's been having a real good year, and is going to bring a challenge to us that I think we're up for though.
He hasn't turned the ball over much at all, especially for a rookie quarterback.
Mhm.
How big is forcing him into some mistakes going to be in this game?
Yeah, it'll be huge, but we just got to do our assignment, and hopefully we can force some turnovers and create those. But like I said, he's a very accurate quarterback, and it's going to be tough, but I think we could do it, though.
He seems to work real well with that Michigan receiver.
Mhm.
What do you make of Nico Collins?
Yeah, he's a real good receiver as well. Big receiver, got good hands, good routes, probably his favorite target out there. So they definitely got that connection out there that we're going to have to lock on to and try to eliminate those guys.
You've played against a lot of shifty, mobile, dual threat type of quarterbacks. How much does the experience, what you guys went through in the regular season, facing all those guys, prepare you to face CJ, who's in that category?
Yeah, we got some great experience throughout the regular season with quarterbacks and receivers, whether they're mobile and may have to plaster longer and stay in our coverage a little longer, or just the way guys run routes and taller receivers, smaller receivers. So we definitely got a good amount of experience throughout the regular season that I think has prepared us for the playoffs.
Denzel, do you think this playoff team is better than the 2020 team?
Our team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. I think we got a lot of talent. That team had a lot of talent as well. But over that, I mean, talent doesn't just win games. I think just how locked in we are and the camaraderie and how close we are as a team has got us as far as we are. And we just got to keep building upon that. And that's going to start come Saturday.
What makes this team so special in that regard?
Mhm.
Because it doesn't seem like you guys have ever had it quite like this before. Why now, and what makes it so special?
I think guys done a great job of getting the right guys in here. And then just also time that, like I said before, of us spending in Greenbrier throughout camp. And we spent a lot of time together as on the field and off the field. And then that communication, it just translated, like just guys going out to dinner, out to eat, hanging out in our free time, and just building that communication. We're just comfortable with one another, and it translates out there on the field. We have fun out there, and that's the biggest thing. Like, we just enjoy playing with one another, and so we just love to have fun out there. That's the biggest thing, I think.
Does Schwartz get any more super excited knowing you're up against a rookie quarterback? I think he does one other one this year. Or is Stroud a totally different animal at this point?
I think just the main focus is being us, and going out there doing what we got to do to get a win, regardless of if it's C.J. Stroud or another quarterback out there, rookie quarterback or non-rookie quarterback. Every team faces a challenge, and I think it's just about being us, though.
Do you believe there's something unique about a playoff game that can undo a rookie quarterback?
I'm not sure. I mean, that'd probably be a question for him, but like I say, I think it's just about being us. We just got to go out there, do our job and assignment, and execute.
Did you feel any different in your first playoff game?
Mine was a little different, actually. I think I was coming off of COVID, so that was my first game back from COVID. And, yeah, so it was a little tough for me just dealing with – you all know about COVID and stuff like that. So, but I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to be able to play this game.
The environment on the road, you guys, last time there you played well, but just throughout the season, the road's been kind of your Achilles heel on your side of the ball. So how do you guys, that atmosphere down there is going to be ramped up too. So how do you guys prepare for that and be ready to play your best football?
Definitely. Just bringing the energy. We know it's going to be a crazy atmosphere there, and we're going to build off of that. We're going to take in all that energy and celebrate with our guys and go out there and make plays and do what we can to get the win.
Denzel, when you guys have studied CJ, has there been a game or two that you've noticed where a team really has been able to pressure him and kind of throw him off his rhythm, off his game consistently?
Oh, yeah, potentially. I mean, that's the football league. Guys are going to have good games. Guys are going to have games they may struggle in. And just finding ways to attack those guys and what they may be good at or weak at and could get better in. So I think we're just trying to go out there and see what we could attack them in and go out there and execute that.
Denzel, knowing, being from here and hearing all those stories last night about the Super Bowl with Joe getting up and other guys like that, being from here, how much do you think it would mean to these fans to experience something like that?
Man, it was inspiring, so it'd be crazy, especially being from Cleveland. And I was here when LeBron he won the championship, and those guys brought I was downtown, and just the atmosphere and experience just the whole entire city. So I think to be able to do that on the football end and bring a championship and everything to the city would be crazy. So we just got to take things a game at a time and work to get there.
I think there are 15 players left from that 2020 team. Guys who shared the first experience. Do you feel different as a player, like 4 years later?
As a player from the last playoffs?
Yeah.
Definitely. I feel like I have a lot more experience, a lot more comfortable in the system and team that I'm in, and just feel ready to go out there and play.
Yesterday, Joe talked about just what it kind of takes, the mentality you need to win in the playoffs. You guys have kind of been living by that, just one game at a time mentality really all season. So just how quick do you guys feel like you are? Do you feel like there's not really that added pressure because you're already used to it?
You said, do I feel there's pressure?
Do you feel like there's not really that added pressure with playoff game because you guys are already kind of used to that anyway?
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel it's just added pressure. I mean, like you said, taking things game at a time. Just looking forward to the opportunity to go out there, play with my brothers, my teammates, and coaches, and try to find a way to get a win and move along in the playoffs.
Denzel, how different has Kevin been? I mean, how have you seen him change as a coach over your time with him?
He's been a great coach ever since he came in. Just his attention to detail, his focus, the way he coaches us, and that's grown over time. Just his ability to be able to coach us all different playing styles and everything, and just out there, his play calling out there on the field. So I mean, he's been a great coach, and I appreciate him. He's one of the reasons why we got this far to the playoffs. So definitely appreciate him, and like I say, he's a great coach.
What is it about this particular team and season? You know, Kevin's been here 4 years, but this is really, I think, the first time where the locker room sounds like him. Go 1-0 this week. We're focused on this week, et cetera, et cetera. Why has his message really taken hold of this team, and how much is that going to help you guys going into the one-game season?
Yeah, I think guys in the locker room have bought into Coach Stefanski and the coaches and what they're preaching, and I think that's huge right there. Yeah, he's been preaching that and getting us to go 1-0, and that's been the main focus. And like I said, God, we believe in him, believe in what he's coaching us to do, and it's showing out there on the field.
Denzel, most teams do not, when they lose their starting quarterback to a fractured shoulder, they don't have the opportunity to go find themselves a former Super Bowl MVP who's going to go out there and play at an elite level. How cool is it for you guys knowing that you get to go into these playoffs with a quarterback like that?
Yeah, it's cool. It's exciting. I remember watching Joe Flacco growing up and winning Super Bowls. So it's just crazy for him to be on the team, and I'm glad that he's here. He has that experience out there on the field. He's been there before, so it's just a great opportunity for him to come into and for the team. So we got to try to take advantage of that and go out there and get a win.
Denzel, how much has Jim Schwartz is just his perspective on this type of this second season, being a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator with the Eagles, kind of brings that to the table? How much value does that kind of give you guys? You can kind of turn to him, and he can kind of give you some of that like what it's like and all that.
Yeah, definitely. Like Coach Stefanski, he had all those guys stand up and share their experience, and he shared his experience and him being there. And so yeah, that's definitely someone we could go to and just ask about it if we have questions about just the process and everything, what to expect out there come game day. But yeah, I think we're ready though.
Good.
Thank you guys.
Thanks a lot, dude. How you feeling? It looked like you were kind of limping a bit yesterday in the field.
I might have been, but I'm feeling actually better than I have in a while. I had some time off, I'm able to work on a few things that have been bothering me. It's still middle of the season, but no, I'm feeling better. I think, hopefully going to this game I'll feel as good as I felt in quite a while.
So what did you think of the team meeting, now that we know a lot of this all out there, but what did you think of the message that, that was sent, and what kind of did you take away from that?
Yeah, it was cool. You got to hear a lot of respected guys in the locker room, coaches, players, discuss their experiences in the playoffs before and what it took their past teams to win a championship. And I think just the crowning thing was like we've talked about all year is going 1-0, focus on the fundamentals, understanding that there's going to be big plays in the games, but you've prepared for these moments. There's time to take it in, but once you get between those, lines, it's 11 guys on the field at a time. And you got to do your best every play to support the team. But it was really cool to hear from those guys. I think it brought a great energy to the room. And then, Coach kind of finished it off with, all right, we've talked about it, and now we have to focus everything on the Houston Texans. And I think Joe made a great point about we have nothing else. It's the only thing on our schedule is the Houston Texans. We can't think about the next 18 weeks or anything like that. We have to go 1-0 this week against Houston, and then we can see what's happening after.
Did it strike you at all out of character for Kevin to allow you guys to go down that road?
No, he's done some things like that in the past. I think he's been very consistent this year and his whole career here. But no, I don't think it was out of character.
Remember in 2020 talking Super Bowl the minute that you made the tournament. Why do you feel like that's okay?
Because I think that's the first goal every year is, hey, I mean, the ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl. I think every team thinks that they want to win a Super Bowl, but the first way to get there is to make the tournament, make the playoffs. And now, you know, our goal this week is to 1-0, but the ultimate goal is always to hold up the trophy. So I think that's just part of the bigger plan, and something we've been focused on since day one, since he's been here.
Joe, when you talk, Kevin's 1-0 message, he's been here for 4 years, and I think this is really the first year where you guys talk like he does. And why do you think his messaging has resonated and really been, I guess, absorbed by this locker room?
I think because, you come in as a coach and you have your message, your culture that you want to try and instill in the guys, and it takes time for that to get in. But once you start seeing results of what you're saying, you talk about being resilient, you talk about being 1-0, you talk about focusing on the task at hand and, playing with the guys that we have, but then you start winning games and results are still positive. I think that culture starts to build. They're like, hey, we lost Nick Chubb already. Like if someone else goes down, we know we can pick up that energy. We lost to Sean. DTR came in and won us a game. Like, if he goes down, we know Joe can come in and win this game. Like, we have experience with it now. And so the words behind it have shown results. And I think you keep a core guys together long enough, that culture is going to build.
Hey, Joe, you guys struggled to run the ball last time in Houston. When you go back and watch on film, why do you think that was the case, and what gives you confidence that it'll be different this time?
Yeah, there was, I think anytime the run game is struggling, there's usually a bust, on the block, or one or two plays here and there. I know we were taking some shots and we were trying to throw the ball downfield, but they have a good defense. They're pretty elite against the run, all year. Last week was a little tough for them with Jonathan Taylor, but they've done a good job. But honestly, I think it comes down to execution for us and guys getting on blocks and staying on blocks and sustaining those blocks.
Joel, after all these years, what would it mean to you to win a championship, to hoist that Super Bowl trophy and end up with a ring?
Yeah, I think it's everybody's goal that plays this game. It'd be spectacular, but truthfully, like, we talked about it, and now it's like it's so far out there. Like, we got to beat Houston. We got to focus on that. We got to try and go 1-0 this week and see what happens over there. But that's the ultimate goal for, I think, all the competitors that play in the NFL.
Joel, in 2020, you missed this first game because of all the COVID protocols and all that, and then you got a chance to play the Chiefs, obviously. But you know how long it took to even get to a point where you guys were in the playoffs, and then you everyone was talking about, is he going to get to experience it? And you did. But just how are you sort of personally compartmentalizing now this sort of second stint where you don't have to worry about any of that? You're going to be out there start of the postseason.
Yeah, I definitely don't take it for granted because it's been long enough where you don't have a chance every year. You can think you're, built for the future, and you have an injury or something, and that kind of derails your season. So I'm so happy that we're back, and I'm not taking it for granted to have another opportunity. 2020 was awesome. It was great to watch the guys win, but obviously you want to be a part of it too, and you want to be out there in these wins. And now we're gonna have full stadiums where it was a little bit less back in 2020.
Joel, there's so many elements of this Flacco comeback story that are almost surreal. Is there anything that has impressed you most about what he's been able to do here in such a short time?
He's just calm and cool, man. Like, no matter what. Honestly, his personality is very, I feel like, similar to Coach Stefanski's. They kind of roll the same way and stuff. So I feel like it's been a big part, but he's just fit in the locker room, like, personality-wise, and him and Dave, him and Amari, just the O-line and him. It's been pretty seamless transition, and I think that's just who he is. He isn't trying to do anything different. It's just like, hey, I've played football for a while. Like, I just want to go out there and have some fun and play, and it's worked out well.
You've played in some loud environments. Saturday is going to be another one of those. Just what's most important for you guys up front to deal with that crowd noise and make sure that you don't have those false starts and those pre-snap penalties?
Yeah, we know it's going to be loud. They got a good fan base down there. Home game, young quarterback who's playing very good. So we know they're going to be excited. We have to be a lead on our operation, and it's communicating out of the huddle, preparing this week with crowd noise inside, making sure we're all on the same, snap count. But it just comes back to the reps in practice and communicating, making sure we're no matter what, you got the snap count and we're good to go from there.
How's their defense change if Anderson and Grenard play?
Yeah, they're pretty good. I think their front four is. I mean, they got talent everywhere. Their front four is their strength, and I mean, even Barnett and Hughes have stepped up and played pretty good football for them as well. But those guys are two pretty elite athletes. I think they lead the team in sacks with like 12 and 7 or something like that, you know. And we didn't see Will last time, and he's been kind of slowly building back up, but we know he's elite traits, and he's powerful and condenses the pocket. And then, you know, they've made plays for each other. I think their interior guys are very disruptive too, and so it kind of just feeds off each other. But if they play, it's more weapons that we have to, you know, account for, and they're talented guys.
So you talked about Joe being sort of that calm, cool, collected demeanor out on the field. Has he ever, to this point, stepped in the huddle and like said something that just completely threw you for a loop that you knew like he meant business, like dropped an F-bomb or something, anything?
Only at Wyatt. If you guys know Wyatt, he likes to talk a little bit. So every once in a while, we have to make sure he's back in the huddle, and Joe's not afraid to let him know in a colorful way.
Hey, so NFLPA All-Pro, which is I think a new one, but does that mean something to you because it's your guys voting for that?
Yeah, it's a cool honor. You know, those are the guys you compete against. The guys, you know, I think it's like left guards vote for left guards and D tackles and those guys. So like the guys you truly compete against on a week-to-week basis, guys that watch the film. You know, I think they started it last year, and so it's a cool new one. I think it's a great way to get the players' input, because with the Pro Bowl you get fans, players, coaches. You know, APL Pro is, you know, the writers and the media, and I think it's just a different way to get guys' opinions on who's playing good football. So it's always cool to be recognized by the guys you go against.
Any chance JC rigged it for you?
I don't think so. He's pretty straight and narrow on those type of things.
Thanks, Joel.
Thanks.